their dogs are staying fit, and they're out on a beautiful day on Audubon campus. Lead woman Dorothy DeYoung is led in by Casper as they finish the course in 13:21. Ken Williams helps his canine friend over the line and completes this high pro run today. We see all sorts of dogs, shapes, and sizes in this event, and it's great to see the runners share such a fitness experience with their dogs. Here's Kathy Rutherford finishing this 2 miles.
I've run the Columbus Marathon a couple times. Right now I'm training for the Boston Marathon, and when I come home, I warm down with her to give her some exercise so she isn't so hyper all day. And since I warm down with her every day and run, it's probably close to a mile, I thought we'd enter this race. Unfortunately, she didn't want to run as much as I thought she did, so I had to carry her some of the way. But she's a good dog. She's an Afghan sheephound, and she's about 11 months old.
Here we are at the 1 mile walk run at the Purina High Pro Dog Run, which is really great because people got the opportunity to choose an event that they wanted to share with their dog. Some people, as you saw before, did the 2 mile run, and others are run Audubon Campus Center to finish off of Home Street. It's great because this is a good fitness event, and the Citizens for Humane Action will be putting on more fitness events like this in the future. The course. It was a well-run race, and the participants really enjoyed experiencing this with their animals. Yay! Carol Kemp, On the Move's fitness reporter, finishes the 1 mile with her dog Bonnie and tells us a little bit about this great event.
Hi, this is Carol Kemp. I'm here for On the Move at Audubon College with my dog Bonnie, and we just finished a great 1 mile walk around the campus. We're here today on St. Patty's Day, Saturday, for the High Pro Purina Dog Run, and all the proceeds of this race will benefit the Citizens for Humane Action. This was a great race. There were about 200 people out here today, and all kinds of different shapes and sizes of dogs, as you can see. Peggy Kokernot from Channel 4 put together the race, and she's the race director today. This was a great race and a great walk for a great cause.
Dean, I can't help but notice how much fun you had running with Fritz and how much you enjoy really moving and your sports activities.
Yes, enjoyment in movement is something that's really very important to me. And that's what I learned by putting dance and running together. Dances have a structure to them, but it's not the structure that you're doing, whether you're dancing for social reasons or on the stage. It's not the structure of the dance you're presenting. It's the attitude. It's your enjoyment. And enjoyment through movement is what dance is all about. And what I learned by bringing dance and running together is that's what running is all about as well.
Well, you were talking to me about people listening to music when they run or kind of having a beat in their head while they're doing a workout, and that was also enjoying movement.
That's right. They're moving to music. What is dance if not moving to music? And there they are, out there moving to music. They're dancing. We call it running, well, but they're dancing.
Right. Well, I love going out and running with Bonnie. That's one of my enjoyable things I do during the week. And I know you were telling me that you enjoy doing some social running where you visit friends.
That's right. One of the things I used to do in high school when I was first starting to run, one of the things that I found most profitable about running was that on a summer night when I had all evening to do whatever I wanted, I would run a 5 mile run that would take me 3 hours. The reason it would take 3 hours to run 5 miles wasn't that I was so slow in those days, but I would run the first 2 miles over to a friend's house, and we'd sit around and chit-chat, and eventually he would put on his shoes, and he'd come out and run with me, and we'd run 1.5 miles to another friend's house. And on a good night, I would come back in after about 5 miles or 7 miles, depending on who we visited, with a whole party following me along. And then they'd drop me off at my house, run along to the first house, and everybody would do this. We'd wind up having a running party, just impromptu, just dropping in on each other.
Well, see, that's what makes it enjoyable, and you protect your sport that way. You add longevity to your program, and I think that's what's real important.
Absolutely. One of the biggest dangers to a running routine is to actually take it so seriously that it goes stale. And I've had this happen to me in my running career. That's what got me into dancing. After a while, I went from high school to college and sort of lost this social group, and then running became the thing that I did by habit once a day, so many miles. And after a while, it was sort of like, what's the big point? Why am I running? What am I getting out of this? And I needed a new hobby and got into dance and found that I could once again socialize while moving. And I've now learned that this is the whole reason why I'm moving in the first place, is to contact other people.
Well, Dean, I really appreciate you sharing with me those things. I think they're very important. They make my running and sports go a lot better as well. We have for you something that will enhance your spring training program and your fitness programs. The Ohio Runner calendar of events that includes running, biathlon, and triathlon events, and even walking events. We'll be back with our Staying Fit tip in a moment, so stay tuned. Crawford from Sports Medicine Grant talks about how you can enjoy cycling this spring. He talks about touring, how to prevent cycling injuries, and what initial training you should do to hit the roads and enjoy the Ohio scenery. We'll be back with a biathlon training tip from the triathlete, so stay with us.
The winter's ended and the snow's all melted, it's time to get back outdoors. And one of the nice ways to do that is to get onto a bicycle and get out on the back roads. Throughout Ohio, we have a lot of country roads and also tours that are offered, like the tour of the Scioto River Valley that's coming up, which give you an opportunity to get out with a lot of other people and enjoy the thrills of riding. There are certain things coming off a winter of either inactivity or having done things other than cycling that are important to make that first few rides enjoyable. Let's cover some of the important considerations which you should be aware of when you're preparing for your rides. First is the mileage you'll be covering. Next is the geography or the hilliness of the terrain. And third is the climate or the temperature range which you'll encounter. Obviously, the mileage can range anywhere from a 5-mile to 10-mile Saturday afternoon ride all the way up to a tour of the Scioto River Valley, which is 110 miles each day down to Portsmouth, Ohio and back. So you prepare differently for that kind of mileage than you would if you're just going out for a nice ride with the family. You have to pay attention to whether you're going to get into hills. If you've only been working out on a stationary bike or on the flat ground of the suburbs, you need to do some things to prepare for those hills, either by getting into the hills in your training rides or doing some interval work on the stationary bike. And the last thing is climate, which at this time of year is tricky because often in the mornings it's still cold, so you have to worry about the wind chill factor, and then as it warms up in the afternoon, dehydration and being sure to take in plenty of fluids to ward off the effects of the heat becomes more important. So you have to be ready and be able to adapt to all these changing factors when you go out on your bike rides. Listening to your body is one of the best ways you have of preventing an injury or coming back as quickly as possible when an injury does occur. You want to be careful with your equipment that you don't make any big changes as you're going out for those early season rides or the longer rides.